Want to turn your basil into a real little bush, packed with leaves instead of one sad leggy stem? In this video, I will show you 4 simple tips to get basil that is dense, bushy and productive all summer long. And also stick around until the end because I will also show you the harvesting mistake almost everyone makes. The one that leaves basil leggy and sparse. Tip number 1, start pruning early. Because a lot of people wait too long. They think the plant needs to get big first. But as soon as your basil is about 6 to 8 inches tall, with 3 or 4 sets of true leaves, you can make your first cut. Yes, of course, you will harvest a little less right away. But that early cut tells the plants to branch out instead of just growing one tall stem. So you will get way more leaves down the line. Now let's look at exactly where to cut, because this part matters more than people think. Find a spot where 2 leaves branch off from either side of the stem. That's called a node. Just above that pair of leaves, snip off the tip of the stem. Maybe you are wondering why you cut right there, because at that node, 2 small new shoots are already waiting to grow. So one stem becomes 2 branches. And those 2 become 4, then 8, then 16. And that's the whole secret on how your basil goes from a single skinny stalk to a full round bush. And there is the mistake a lot of people make. They only harvest the big leaves at the bottom, and one leaf at a time. And when you do that, the basil keeps growing taller, but barely branches out. And it ends up tall, leggy and thin. So instead, harvest from the top of the stem, not the bottom leaves. You can snip off a small piece of stem, always just above a node, the same way as your first prune. And that way you get a handful of leaves for cooking, and at the same time you are pushing the plant to grow 2 new branches in that spot. And you can leave the big lower leaves alone. They soak up light and feed energy back into the plant. Finally, you can repeat the process again and again. And once those new branches have grown a few sets of leaves, cut them too just above a node. You can check on your basil every 1 or 2 weeks. And prune a little each time rather than waiting and doing one big chop. It's better like that. Because the secret to a bushy basil is not pruning it once, but pruning it regularly and always in the right spot. And if you do that consistently in a few weeks, you will have a basil plant that looks completely different from where it started. Also, if your basil came from the grocery store, I have to be honest, pruning a lot might not save it, because those plants are grown differently, and they often struggle no matter what you do. But you can check out my other video where I show you exactly how to keep a store-bought basil alive and stop it from dying just after you bring it home. See you in the next one.